qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Il est fou, il me descend,
Pepe Le Moko. Le Moko, I think is how you pronounce it. It's a French film though.
Yes.
But yeah, so I want to talk about this film because one, it's a great film, and also I want to do a comparison with this with Casablanca. Later on, we're going to talk about Casablanca because this film was very influential on a lot of other movies because of the formatting of it. It almost feels like watching it and then watching Casablanca. It almost feels like why didn't more movies do this? Watching it, I'm like, this could have been a whole subgenre, you know, because of like the tropes that you can take from this movie. It's like it should be emulated more, you know, because it's such a great, perfect movie. So this is part gangster, part romance, part a man. It's there's so much analogy in this film, and also it has a lot of inspiration that you could see not just for gangster films, but to me more so even film noir that could have borrowed from this as well. But you have this guy who is safe in the Casbah. Every time I hear this with Casbah, I keep thinking of that song.
That's right.
That's I just can't. Every time they said Casbah, that song just
I
popped
know.
into my head.
Yeah.
But you have this criminal who's safe in the Casbah because it's this labyrinth of like areas like where it's hard to get through, hard to find people, and he's this Robin Hood type character that people just want to protect, and you can't get to him. The only way to get to him is to get him out, and it's like, how do we get him out? And it's kind of it's also tragic because even though he's safe there, he's trapped there, and this vision of like, man, like I want to get to this place. I want to leave where I'm at, and I want to go to this place. This place I'm trapped in is hell, and this place I want to go to is heaven. Like, how many films is that like the starting point for? Where it's just like, man, I hate my dreary life. I can't wait to get to X place because Y place sucks. I want to get out of the ghetto and I want to be rich in the Beverly Hills. Like, whatever the storyline is, like that's an essential story that you can find in a lot of movies, and this one does it very well. Because he's visualizing Paris as this great place. He's never been there, you know, but it's just like, man, just like any place is better than this. And to see this beautiful woman who has the same affinity and can be his escape, it's so tragic that they don't end up, you know, getting to where they want to get to together. And the fact that he ends up, you know, spoiler, killing himself at the end. And it's so tragic. It's so sad. And it's so, I don't know, emotionally this film hit me. I will admit, we're going to talk about Casablanca later. Casablanca probably hit me more emotionally than this one, but this one is just as good. I don't want to get into like which one's better, maybe this one's better because it came first. I think they're both all-time great movies, and I think they're both all-time great romance films as well. They're kind of romance films for guys, where it's just like, I'm not going to watch The Notebook. I don't care who I'm dating. I'm not going to watch that. But I will watch Pepe and I will watch Casablanca. And I will tear up. You know, I'm man enough to say like these movies will choke me up. But yeah, this was, I love this movie. Watching it, I'm like, damn it, why did I only watch this once? Because with a lot of the great foreign movies, like I'll as much as I love them, I'll only watch them once unless it's something like Wild Strawberries or like some Kurosawa films, you know, stuff like that, or like what's that movie where the devil's playing chess? It's the same director.
Seventh Seal.
Like Seventh Seal. Unless it's like movies like those, like I tend to not watch even great foreign movies more than once because I'm not a big fan of reading subtitles. But watching this made me rethink that whole strategy. I'm like, man, like this is a movie I should have been watching like at least every couple years. But this is only the second time I watched it, and I just wished I watched it more after watching it now.
Yeah, well, this is a movie that I not only had never watched before, but I had never heard of it before you mentioned it. And I'm shocked now. Like, how is it I did not know about this movie? This is it's a great movie, and I mean, apparently very influential, as we will talk about more later. But yeah, I don't know why it was not on my radar at all. I didn't know anything about it. And I must admit that I had a little bit of technical trouble trying to watch it. I downloaded a copy, which I discovered did not have subtitles. And my French is not quite good enough. I mean, it's okay, but it's not quite good enough to watch a movie like this. So then I tried to find a version with subtitles, and then I tried to find subtitles I could add to this, and then they didn't really sync up properly. So I was watching it, and I was sort of listening, and I was able to tell that that's not what he's saying here. And so then I kind of backed out, and I found a different set of subtitles that kind of lined up better. And I eventually was able to watch it, but it was probably not the ideal way to watch it. I would love to see it again in a better print where it is actually properly subtitled. But even so, though, I did really like it. I thought it was very good. And again, I'm just amazed that I had never heard about this movie before. I don't know why that would be, but I'm glad to know it now, and I will definitely be taking a look at it again.
Yeah, it sounds like those circumstances were not ideal. I would say when you do get the right circumstances, definitely give it another try, because there's so many plot points that are tragic in this. You have his protege, the kid that loves him, who ends up getting caught up to no fault of his own in them trying to get Pepe. They try to get through the kid. The kid ends up getting killed. And, you know, just before he dies, they hold him up to try and kill the guy who, like, basically is responsible for him dying, but he dies before he can actually kill him. You know, obviously you have the woman that's in love with him, that he's just with because he's trapped there and he's trapped with her, but she doesn't feel that way. She loves him. And out of love comes her betrayal, which leads to him not being to escape the Casbah, and him, you know, and the woman that he wants to escape with is in love with him, but doesn't know. She thinks he's either dead or abandoned him. And he's like screaming out to her, but she can't see him. And then he's literally like trapped behind that fence, and then just kills himself rather than going to jail or even escaping jail and just being trapped in the Casbah. It almost reminds me of, like, I made this analogy when I first started talking about this. It's a heaven and hell type thing. It's like this character who's trapped in hell because of all of his crimes. And it's like, I forget, I'm not a super religious person, but I know there's this, it's either a parable or a Bible section that talks about this guy who is trapped and there's fruit right above him, but he can't reach the fruit, and he's eternally hungry, and he's just stuck like that for eternity, and that's his hell or something like that. Maybe I'll research it and put something on the screen, but it kind of reminds me of that, where it's just like seeing him behind that fence almost reminds me of like he's trapped behind the gates of hell, and he's seeing heaven like go escape him because of his crimes. You know, it's just it's powerful stuff, man. I would definitely suggest rewatching it. It's great.
Oh yeah, I definitely will.